All right, so today we're going to do something a little different. We are going to deep dive into online shopping, but with a twist. We're dissecting a single Amazon product page, the Day H Rapid Egg Cooker, as captured on December 9th, 2024. An egg cooker. You might be thinking,
There's a
but trust me, there's a lot we can learn about consumer behavior, marketing tactics, and maybe even a few societal trends just from looking at this one page.
Absolutely. These product pages are like these little time capsules, reflecting not just the product itself, but the desires and anxieties of the people buying it.
Okay, so let's jump right in. First thing you see at the top of the page, the big ol' Amazon Prime free trial offer. It's almost like they're saying, hey, you're already here, you might as well just sign up.
Right, but it's more than just a suggestion. It's very strategically placed, right next to the price. So you're thinking about the potential savings on shipping before you even decide if you want the product.
Yeah, it definitely plays on that instant gratification thing, you
Yeah.
know, like knowing you can have it tomorrow for free. That makes
Right.
it really tempting to buy.
Oh, yeah, that free 2-day shipping. It's
Yeah.
a huge draw. And once you're hooked on that, it's easier to justify those impulse purchases later on.
Absolutely. But it's not even just the speed anymore, is it? They're pushing all those other perks that come with Prime. Streaming services, exclusive deals. It's like they're selling a whole lifestyle.
Exactly. They're not just building a store, they're building an ecosystem.
Yeah.
And the more you buy into that, the less likely you are to even look at other retailers.
Pretty clever.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so if we scroll down a bit, we see the ships and product packaging section. So it seems like Amazon is trying to appeal to the eco-conscious shopper here.
For sure. This is a really interesting trend, this whole idea of sustainable practices. It's become a major selling point. People are a lot more aware of packaging waste now
Yeah, you see it everywhere.
when companies are having to respond to that,
Yeah,
even if it's just through subtle messaging like this.
right. But it does make you wonder how much of this is genuine concern for the environment and how much is just clever marketing.
It's a tough question. It's good to see these issues being acknowledged,
Yeah.
but we also have to be discerning as consumers.
Exactly. We need to look beyond those claims, do a little digging, and make sure those changes are actually impactful.
Absolutely. It's on us to be informed.
Okay, so here's something I found interesting. The option to buy a used egg cooker. It's even highlighted with a little green badge
Okay.
that says climate pledge friendly.
Yes. This speaks to the rise of the secondhand market,
Yeah.
which is really interesting on a few different levels.
Yeah, how so?
Well, for one, it's definitely a more sustainable option.
Yeah.
Reduce waste, lower your carbon footprint.
Right.
But it also taps into the economic anxieties that a lot of people are feeling, especially with inflation being a concern in late 2024.
Yeah. It seems like a perfect storm of factors. You got those economic pressures, growing awareness of environmental issues, and even just a greater acceptance of buying pre-owned goods.
It really is.
Yeah.
And platforms like Amazon are making it so easy to find and buy those things, which further normalizes the whole idea.
Okay, so we've talked about Prime and sustainability, but let's move on to the features of this thing. The About This Item section is packed. It can cook 6 eggs at once, make omelets, poach. It's like the Swiss Army knife of breakfast gadgets.
Right. And that's no accident, that whole abundance of features, even for a relatively simple device. It's a classic marketing strategy.
How so?
Well, by highlighting all those benefits, even the ones that seem kind of redundant, the product appears more appealing, more valuable.
Right, like we as consumers, we love having all the options, even if we never actually use them all.
Exactly. It feeds into that more is better mentality. That's so prevalent in our culture.
Makes you wonder, though, are we sometimes sacrificing quality and simplicity for the sake of just having every possible feature?
That's a good question. Something to think about.
Now let's talk about the reviews. This little egg cooker has over 126,000 customer reviews and a 4.6-star rating.
Wow.
That's a lot of happy egg eaters.
It is. And that's where the whole idea of social proof comes in. You see a product with that many positive reviews, it instantly builds trust, even if you've never heard of the brand before.
It's like getting 126,000 recommendations from your friends.
Exactly.
But are there any downsides to relying so much on reviews?
Oh, for sure. Reviews can be super helpful. But we have to remember that they're subjective. Everyone has different tastes, different expectations.
Right.
And there's always the potential for fake reviews or biased opinions.
So it's about being a savvy consumer, not just blindly following the crowd.
Exactly.
Okay, one thing that really stands out on this page is all the visuals, videos, 360-degree views, tons of pictures. It's like an egg cooker fashion show.
It's all about that visual storytelling. It's become so crucial in online retail.
Yeah. Why do you think that is?
Well, I think engaging visuals. They create a more immersive shopping experience. And they can be incredibly persuasive. Humans are visual creatures, and a compelling image or video can convey so much more than words ever could.
It's about creating an experience, not just presenting information.
Exactly.
Speaking of information, I noticed this section called Customers Say. It seems to pull out the key points from all the reviews. But here's the thing. It's all AI generated.
Oh, wow. So that's a perfect example of how AI is shaping online shopping.
Right.
These algorithms, they can analyze massive amounts of data, like customer reviews, and then extract these key insights and present them in this really concise and digestible format.
It's like having a personal assistant
Yeah.
who's read all 126,000 reviews and pulled out the most important parts.
Right. It's pretty amazing.
It is, but it also makes you wonder, like, is this shaping our perceptions, even subconsciously? Are we relying too much on these AI summaries?
It's a really good point. I mean, they're definitely convenient, but are we losing something in the process? Like all the nuances and individual perspective that make those reviews so interesting.
It's like the trade-off between efficiency and depth.
Right.
Okay, but remember those hilarious reviews about the egg cooker's buzzer?
Oh, yeah. The Wake the Neighbors buzzer?
So some people were comparing it to a fire alarm.
That's funny.
But it actually brings up something important. This idea that user feedback, even about something as small as a buzzer, can be really valuable for product improvement.
Absolutely. Companies can use those real-world experiences to refine their designs and address those unexpected issues.
It's like crowdsourced quality control.
Exactly.
So even in the age of high-tech design and engineering, there are still those little quirks that you only discover once the product is out in the wild.
Right.
And that's the beauty of online reviews.
Yeah, they provide this direct line of communication between consumers and manufacturers.
Which can lead to better products for everyone.
Exactly.
All right, so we've talked about the marketing, the reviews, even the little quirks. But let's get down to the basics. How does this thing actually work?
You know, it's surprisingly simple. You just add some water to the base, put your eggs in the tray, close the lid, and press start.
And that's
Pretty much. The heating element boils the water, creates steam that cooks the eggs evenly and quickly, and the best part, it shuts off automatically when they're done.
So no more guessing games or rubbery yolks.
Nope.
But hold on, didn't I see something about an omelet tray?
You did. This little gadget is full of surprises. It comes with a special tray.
Yeah.
You can use to make omelets. Just crack a couple eggs in there, add your favorite fillings, and let it do its thing.
So omelets, poached eggs, boiled eggs. It's a whole breakfast buffet in one little appliance.
It really is.
No wonder it has so many good reviews.
Yeah.
Speaking of which, let's go back to those AI-generated insights from the Customers Say section.
Okay.
What are some of the main things people are saying?
So one of the things that keeps coming up is how easy it is to use and how easy it is to clean. People love that it's compact and quick, and you don't have to be a chef to use it.
Makes sense. It seems perfect for those busy mornings when you need something healthy and fast.
Right. But it's not just for basic eggs. There are tons of reviews about how versatile this thing is. People are using it to steam vegetables, make oatmeal, even cook dumplings.
Dumplings? Now that's thinking outside the box.
I know, right?
It seems like this little appliance is inspiring some culinary creativity.
It's pretty cool. It reminds us that technology, even in its simplest forms, can empower people to experiment and find new ways to do things.
I love that. Okay, so we've talked about all the good stuff, but let's be realistic. No product is perfect. What are some of the things people are complaining about?
Well, as we mentioned before, the buzzer seems to be a major point of contention. A lot of people find it way too loud, and they wish they could adjust the volume or even turn it off completely.
Yeah, I can see how that could be annoying.
Right. Especially if you're trying to make breakfast quietly.
Another common complaint seems to be about the durability of the plastic parts. Some people have reported cracking or breaking after repeated use.
It's that age-old trade-off between affordability and durability.
You get what you pay for.
I guess so.
And there are also some comments about the cooking times being a bit inconsistent. Apparently, the size and temperature of the eggs can affect the cooking time.
Interesting.
So it might take a bit of trial and error to get it just right.
Makes sense.
But even with those drawbacks, it seems like most people are pretty happy with this egg cooker.
Yeah. Especially for the price.
It's under $20.
That's a pretty good deal.
Okay, so zooming out a bit, what does this egg cooker tell us about online shopping in late 2024?
For one thing, it shows the continued dominance of e-commerce giants, like Amazon.
Right.
It's become the go-to destination for pretty much everything. And this egg cooker is a perfect example of how smaller brands can leverage these platforms to reach a huge audience.
It's like a digital marketplace
Yeah.
where even the most niche products
Dude.
can find their customer.
Exactly.
But it also raises questions about the power dynamics at play. Can smaller businesses really thrive in an environment dominated by such a massive player?
That's a good question. It's a really complex issue.
It is. But it's something we're thinking about as we navigate this ever-changing world of online retail. All this talk about eggs is making me a little hungry.
Me too.
You know what? I think we should stop here for part 1, and then in part 2, we can explore some of the broader implications of what we've learned today.
Sounds good to me.
It's about more than just egg cookers. It's about understanding the forces
Yeah.
that are shaping our digital world.
Right.
So until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep those excellent insights coming.
We'll see you in part 2.
Welcome back to the deep dive.
It's great to be back.
So we spent part 1 really digging into the specifics of this egg cooker product page. But now I want to zoom out a bit and talk about some of the bigger implications of what we've uncovered.
Yeah, I think that's really important because like we touched on earlier, this product page, it's not just about selling an egg cooker. It's a reflection of larger societal trends.
Exactly. Like
Yeah.
the whole thing with AI, it's everywhere now, even in something as mundane as summarizing customer reviews.
Right. And on the one hand, it's making our lives easier,
Mm.
filtering out the noise,
Uh-huh.
personalizing our experiences.
Yeah. But on the other hand,
Mm.
it does make you wonder, are we becoming more passive consumers?
That's a really interesting question. I mean, AI can definitely shape what we see and how we perceive value.
Right. Like, are we losing that critical eye, that ability to sift through information ourselves?
It's possible. I think it's
Yes.
something we need to be mindful of. We can't just blindly trust these algorithms.
Absolutely. We have to stay informed
Yeah.
and maintain a healthy level of skepticism.
Agreed.
Okay, so another trend we talked about was sustainability. Remember how Amazon highlighted the minimal packaging of the
Oh.
egg cooker?
Oh, yeah. It was subtle, but definitely intentional.
Right. It felt like a nod to the eco-conscious consumer.
For sure. And I think it reflects a much larger shift in consumer values.
How so?
Well, people are just more aware now of
Yeah.
the impact their choices have on the environment.
Right.
And companies are having to respond to that. It's no longer just a niche concern. Sustainability is becoming an expectation.
So it's a good thing, right?
I think so. But it also raises questions about authenticity.
Yeah. Like, are companies really committed to these practices? Or is it just a marketing ploy?
It's tough to say sometimes. I think as consumers, we have to do our research, look beyond the surface, and support the companies that are actually walking the walk.
I agree. We have the power to hold them accountable through our choices.
Absolutely.
Okay, so one final takeaway that really struck me was the global reach of e-commerce. This little egg cooker with reviews from all over the world, it really highlights how connected we are.
Yeah. It's amazing how a product
Mm.
can transcend geographical boundaries and
Yeah.
cultural differences.
Right. Platforms like Amazon, they've created a truly global marketplace.
They have. And that opens up all sorts of possibilities.
It does, but it also raises some complex questions
Yeah.
about economic equity and the potential for cultural homogenization.
Yeah. It's a double-edged sword.
It is. So as we wrap up this deep dive into the DASH Rapid Egg Cooker, we're left with more than just knowledge about a kitchen gadget.
We've uncovered insights into some major trends.
Exactly. The evolving roles of technology, sustainability, globalization.
It's a reminder that even the most ordinary objects can offer a window into the complexities of our world.
And that's what the deep dive is all about, taking a seemingly simple topic and uncovering those hidden layers, sparking curiosity, and encouraging you to think critically.
Exactly.
So until next time, keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep those excellent insights coming.
See you in part 3.
All right, so welcome back to the deep dive.
Glad to be here.
I hope you're ready to dig in because
Yeah.
we're going to get into some big picture stuff, some really interesting trends and implications that go way beyond this egg cooker.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be good.
Okay, so remember how we talked about AI,
Mhm.
part 1, and how it's being used to summarize those customer reviews?
Uh-huh.
It's a great example of how technology is changing the way we shop online. But it also raises some questions about the role of AI in our lives.
Definitely. Like, it's making things more convenient. But is it also making us more passive?
Right. Like, are we losing that ability to critically evaluate information for
It's
ourselves?
a valid concern.
Because these algorithms, they're designed to shape our perceptions, to steer us towards certain products or choices.
Exactly.
So we need to be aware of that and make sure we're not just blindly following the AI's lead.
I agree. We need to maintain a healthy level of skepticism
Mm.
when it comes to these kinds of systems.
Okay, so another big trend we touched on was sustainability and how companies are responding to that by emphasizing things like minimal packaging.
Yeah, like with the egg cooker that ships in product packaging thing.
Exactly, it's a small detail,
Yeah,
but it speaks to a larger shift in consumer values.
absolutely. People are more aware than ever of the environmental impact of their purchases.
And companies are having to adapt if they want to stay competitive.
Right. Sustainability is no longer just a niche concern. It's becoming a mainstream expectation.
But of course, there's always the question of authenticity. Like, are companies really committed to these practices, or are they just using them as a marketing tactic?
That's a tough one. I think it's up to us as consumers to do our research and support the companies that are actually making a difference.
I agree. We have the power to vote with our wallets.
We do.
Okay, one last thing I want to talk about. The global reach of e-commerce. This little egg cooker. With reviews from people all over the world, it really highlights how connected we are in the digital age.
It's pretty amazing. You can buy something from halfway across the world and have it delivered to your doorstep.
It's incredible, but it also raises some interesting questions about the impact of globalization.
Like what kind of questions?
Well, for one, is it creating more opportunities, or is it just concentrating wealth and power in the hands of a few?
That's a big question.
It is, and there's no easy answer.
Right.
But it's something we need to be thinking about as we continue to move towards a more interconnected world.
I agree.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive, I hope you've gained some new insights, not just about egg cookers, but about the forces that are shaping our world.
It's been a fascinating journey.
It has. And remember, the deep dive is all about sparking curiosity and encouraging you to think critically about the things you encounter every day.
Exactly.
So keep exploring, keep questioning, and keep those excellent insights coming.
And we'll see you next time on The Deep Dive.